So this is their main website here for the Google Business Profile. Now, if you scroll down here, it'll actually tell you why you should have a Google Business Profile. So first of all, and the best thing is, especially if you're a new realtor, it's free. The best thing you can have as a new realtor is free marketing and free stuff, okay? It is easy, you can personalize it, so you could add photos, you could add descriptions, you could add the location that you're in. We're gonna go through all that in a second. And it is your first impression when they Google you. Like if they Google Realtor Todd or Realtor Chris here at Dearborn, that's what's gonna pop up your Google business page, and that's where they'll see your reviews, where you're at, and like that. Obviously, you can easily connect with your customers. So then we are going to start now. So it's going to take you through this whole thing about you creating your Google business page. Okay, so obviously business name. Now, you really would have to think about this one because that's what people are going to know you as. And that's when people search you in the search engine, you'd want your name to be included with a keyword. The keyword here is realtor, right? So your name, it really won't really matter that much, but realtor or real estate or agency, that's what will pop up when people are searching. That's how it gets your name to pop up, okay? So me and Eric were actually talking about yesterday how important keywords are, and you just have to change what the keyword is to optimize your results to be one of the first ones that pops up when people search realtor, okay? So think about what your business name is. Mine is just my first and last name, but I'm just gonna put realtor, just put here. And then business category. So there's actually multiple types of businesses that you can put in, depending on who you are, but as real estate agents, it's really easy. You just put real estate agents. Real estate agent. But if you did property management, you'd also put property management. If you are an investor, you put investor. If you're a title company, you put a title company, things like that. Now, you are going to add a location. You definitely want to add a location. It makes you more marketable. It makes people want to come to your location. So the location that I have on here is this office. So when people are on Google Maps, they'll be able to search up your name, and on Google Maps, it'll pop up to where you are, and your Google profile will pop up. Okay? Yes. Address. Just put this address here. Here we go. See, so Real Estate One here already has a business here, right? So they already have a Google business profile. They also have the Keller Williams Legacy, and all the other brokerages around here already have this. But I'm going to show you how you could stand out. Steps here. We don't provide any deliveries. We don't go to home or visits and things like that except for list the home. Now put a contact information in, so your number here. Website, I definitely would put your website in. Now, this is actually the most important part of this whole thing. You need to get verified. And without you getting verified, you could do everything right. And if you're not verified, Google will not push your ads, and they won't even push your business profile. They won't even show your business profile, right? So you have to get verified. Now, a way to get verified is by phone code, or you can take a video of the actual business. How they used to do it is they used to actually require you to give like an insurance card, right, or a business card showing that you're here. And if they do require it, I know when I did it, Eric was able to get me mine, and I was able to upload it to Google, and that verifies me, and then approves my business page through Google. But right now, you could do a phone code or a video. So we're just going to verify. So it will take some time, but you could still do everything else while it takes some time to kind of verify you, okay? Now, add your services. Like, what do you do? Obviously, first-time home buyers, showing buying agent services, foreclosed property sales. So, I mean, anything that has to do with a real estate agent is what you will select. Property rentals, investing. You can figure this out.
No, they said for optimal, you want to have at least 10 selections on there.
Let's do that. 5, 6, 7, 8. At your business hours. Now, I have mine on 24 hours. You don't have to have yours on 24 hours. You can have yours on 12 hours, just basically when you want people to call you or when you're comfortable with people calling you. That's where you put it. Now, I have mine on 24 hours. I swear I've had people call me at 1 a.m. It's, yeah, I mean, if you could have it if you are comfortable with people calling you at 1 a.m. But you could put 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., but I always work after, so you can put 9 a.m. to maybe the latest
9
time,
or something.
9 to 9.
And at 24 and 9,
Yep, put 9.
You know, with the address being Dearborn for the business, is that gonna focus more in this area?
No. Actually, so when you do the ads, no. But if somebody were to search you on Google Maps, yes. So on Google Maps, you want to optimize it to be around this area and this location. But when you are advertising your services, it'll just be to anybody within a radius, and I'll show you how to do that. So whatever days you're open, maybe you don't work Sundays.
You said that was you, didn't you?
That's my,
It's the
my,
lead.
my lead,
I just got a lead.
give it here.
Okay, so you want to provide a description. So this is the first thing that that people will look at when they pull up your profile. So they're gonna describe. You want to describe what you do, and here you don't only want to describe what you do, but you want to describe what differentiates you from other real estate agents. Okay, so you want to describe what you do that makes you different and more preferable to use than other real estate agents. So you really would have to kind of take time and think about what would you do to be different from real estate agents, and that's what you would want to put in this section. Okay. Add photos. So
Once you have, say once you have an established business profile, are you able to edit the name,
yes.
the business name? You
So
can edit?
you're able to edit the business name, but it'll take 48 hours for it to get approved. Okay, so it won't happen right away, and unless it's something that's profanity or anything like that, it should. Okay. Now add photos to your business. So if you look at mine, it has like houses, right, and it has just the front here, a picture of real estate one here. So when they pull up on Google Maps, they'll know where the location is at. Your picture would be good, but you definitely don't want to skip photos because it just looks like any other business page. It looks dead. You want to make it as personalized to you as possible. That way when somebody is looking to choose, they know why they chose you. Skip that. Advertise, so we're gonna skip this one for right now, until we get there. Obviously, you wanna put your email and everything like that, and any appointments you can put on there, you can put bookings on there. So, an example is like if you're a hair salon, right, you could put your bookings and share it with Google, and they could book you through Google. You could also do that as a real estate. There we go. So it'll give you like a preview of what your website or what your business page will look like. What I would do here is first off, I'd go add photos, right? And then if you do have bookings, you could put your bookings in here. Now, once you are up and ready here, what you would have to do is the first thing that I would do after completing the profile and your profile strength is really good here. Share it. Share it with everybody that you know, and share it with everybody that you have had a connection with. Not necessarily close with, but anybody that you've had a connection with. And once you share it, also ask for a review. Because once you share it and you have reviews, that will dramatically help you once you are doing ads. Because once you're doing ads, people are going to look at your reviews. If you have no reviews, you're going up against people that have 30, 40, 50, 60, over 100 reviews that are all probably good reviews. So for it to really work, for people to really click on your profile, for people to click on your profile and call your number and not call somebody else, you need a good reputation online. Okay? So this right here, you're basically done. This is how it will look. You need to put the photos on there, but that's it, you're done. This is where you're at, the address, the number, the hours that you're open. You could always edit it and things like that. And this is an example of people that are sponsored. So whenever it says sponsored here, it means that these people pay to be on here, right?
Is that considered a priority listing?
Yes. So these are priority listings. So they pay to be on the top page of Google, and they pay quite a bit of money to be one of the top ones. I didn't even search anything, and they're already here. Okay. So Jim Schaefer, everybody knows that. Jeff Glover, Stacy, we know Stacy, but all these people, they're doing the right things by paying to be on top of here because they're constantly going to get calls for the people to come list their house. They'll come to rent their house. People, that are looking to buy, that's where we're going to be. And
What do you
take a
think
look
their
at-
rates are for that, prioritizing?
Yes, the rates are higher, but also, once you start advertising for so long, it doesn't take much for you to get up there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Also, look at these reviews. 135 reviews, and they're all 5-star. Right? 195 that are 5-star, 119 also 5. So it's like, if you have no reviews, your Google business page won't really work as good. Or I honestly, I don't think it'll work at all if you don't have any reviews. Like, you have to get some reviews under your belt. That way, when people are sitting down and discussing about, you know, which realtor, they'll look at your reviews and they'll make a decision that way. That makes sense? Any questions about this part? No? Okay. So, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna move on to this next section. And this section is a little bit more difficult, so everybody pay attention, okay? Actually, Alright, so once you have your Google business page up and running and you have a few reviews, I would say you have the photos and everything like that, I would say you're ready to advertise. Now, you're gonna go to googleads.com or ads.google.com. You can just search it up on Google Ads and it'll take you to their main website or webpage. And if you are new, what I would really recommend is using this here. So once you run your first campaign, they'll actually give you a credit. So if you spend a certain amount of money, they will give you a credit for it. So if you spend $500, they'll give you $500 to spend for more ads, right? So that's like $1,000 that you have to spend on ads. Same thing with $750. Same thing with same thing with $1,000, but you'd have to spend a little bit more for that. Let's start now. I'm gonna create a new account for you guys, just to show you how it looks like. So for this, previously on Google, it used to be where you can choose what type of campaign that you can have. Now they have where you can only really have the performative max. Not my favorite, because what it does, the performative max, is it drinks up a lot of your budget. It takes up a lot of your budget, and it just pushes you out to be where you don't necessarily really need to be. So it'll have you on their other platforms, like it'll have you on YouTube, right? It'll have you on Gmail, right? On those type of ads. But I'm gonna show you guys how to really optimize the type of ads that you really want for your ads to be out there for the cheapest amount as possible. Because if you do choose the Performance Max, they take up a lot of money fast. Okay? Now, we don't really have a choice here. So we're gonna create our first campaign, and then I'll show you guys how to do a search campaign. Now, you could have it whichever way that you want, depending on your goals. Do you want people to go to your website? Now, if you have a great website, if you have a website where you could lead generate off, if you have a landing page, this would be great for you, right? You can direct them to your website, submit a form. Once they submit a form, it's gonna have their number, email, things like that, and you could call them directly, right? You could use your business page. So whichever business page that you have, you can use that one, which I would recommend you using your business page.
For the go to my website, do you think it's best to have the link right for the contact portion of your website?
No, because I would have the link to listings, right? Or links to houses that they can see, because automatically built into our Real Estate One website is the lead form. So if they were to click on a house and to click contact person, if it is your personal website from Real Estate One, it'll have your lead form. They can fill out the form and it'll send you the information. So that's the good thing about having that Real Estate One website, is because you can use that as your landing page, you can use the submit form on the website. Okay, so you can use the website. I would rather do the business profile, or you can have them call your number, right? There's an option for apps, but I don't know any real estate that has an app yet. Maybe
So
it's not.
you would rather have them go to your
My business
page before
Yes.
they call you?
Yes.
To get the traffic.
Get the traffic.
They're gonna call you anyway,
business page.
right?
Yes,
Okay.
they're gonna call you through your business page, or they're gonna go to your website. There's multiple options. If you go to your website, they can call you, they can visit the location. And as soon as you kind of master the Google Business profile in your website, it's just gonna be, like basketball players say barbecue chicken, which means just really. So there it is, describe what makes your business unique. So what this did here, I would change this, but what this did here is this literally took everything from my website, because I had my website inputted onto my Google profile. So when I'm running ads, it takes everything from my website. So this is actually the biography that I have on my website. So it's like real estate when it's in the houses, stuff that comes through, this is the biography. So then, this is the services, the website here. Now, if you have a YouTube channel, it does give you the options to link your YouTube channel. Otherwise, it'll go through your business page. Now, here's something that's very, very important. Now, what do you want when people click on your ad? What do you want them to do? Right? What's your call to action? What do you want them to do?
Want them to contact you,
You want them to contact you. How?
phone.
Phone
So
calls?
I think I would like that, but
So we're gonna go with phone calls. But your other options are you could submit a lead form, right? Submit a lead form, which means just basically allows them to fill out their contact information, and then you could call them from there.
do you think you would have better results doing that lead form as opposed to them calling you? So where they can fill out what they need and you contact them?
I think the phone calls is better. For me personally, is the phone calls is better because I want people to call me because I want to have a conversation with them, right? I want to
That's the
engage.
goal.
Yes, I want to engage in conversation with them and build a connection from there. If you do a submit lead form, they might not answer, and then also they might not even remember what you're talking about. But if you do if they call you, they know who they're calling, right? The third option here is basically if they were to come to the location, if they were to come to the real estate line. Okay, so here is basically Google now wants you to put like a theme. So what are you, right? So they want to know what these ads represent for you. Okay, so what are they pushing out, right? So what do you want people to search online in order to find you? Okay, so what could they search? Examples would be realtor in Dearborn, right? Or list my house in Dearborn, right? So you could make it very specific, which I would prefer for it to be specific. I mean,
Geographically specific?
geographically, yes, specific. But otherwise, if not geographically specific, you could do it broad, but you may receive calls from somewhere that you don't service. So I mean, if you make it to be more specific or geared towards that, that'll kind of push out the leads that you want to get. Okay?
So say you want to run a campaign for Dearborn, next month I want to do a campaign for Bloomfield Hills.
Totally do that. I just typed up some different types of keywords that you could really use. I put them into a couple sections here. Now, if you want buyers, and when you're making an ad, you really have to be as targeted as possible, otherwise you're just wasting money. If everybody just clicking on the same ad, or if a bunch of people are clicking on the ad, they are going to charge you for each click. That's why you want it to be as specific as possible for each click. Now, these sections that I have, you can use for buyers, right? Homes for sale, listings, Dearborn, things like that. You could have for service. Do you want them to just call you for a real estate agent? Maybe they have different things that they want to do. You would want to make an ad just for service, right? For sellers, you want to make an ad just for sellers. Sell my house. What is my house worth? The home values. An appraisal of my house, things like that. If you are a niche, like if you work in the luxury market or if you work in the rental market, you want your ads to kind of represent that, because that's the type of clients that you want. Now the other thing about Google is they want, so if you were to put like in quotation marks, okay, so if you don't put quotation marks, that's very broad for them. That means anybody that searches anything that is similar to Dearborn, Michigan foreclosures, or homes with basements, or things like that, then your ad will pop up. Now, you could also put a phrase match, which will kind of like have very close variations. It won't be broad, but it'll be a close variation of what you're looking for. So if you put a keyword as homes for sale in quotations, homes for sale in Dearborn, Michigan, your ads will only pop up to the people that are very close to homes for sale, Dearborn, Michigan, that search that up, right?
Please repeat the significance of the quotations.
Yes, so if you don't put quotations, if you just put Dearborn, or you just put homes for sale, Dearborn, Michigan, right? It will send your ads to a very broad search. So anybody could search anything that's related to it, and your ads will pop up. That's the most expensive way, though. That's the most clicks that you'll get that won't really lead to
So you want
They didn't really mean to get to you, but they did.
Exactly. So let's say you have homes for sale in Dearborn, Michigan, right? But somebody searches homes for rent in Detroit. That has something to do with homes, right? in a similar area. So what it'll do is it'll give your number. So maybe when you're running these ads, you'll have a bunch of people from Detroit that want to rent a home. And you're like, that's not the ad that I put in, but it is the ad that you put in because that's what you told Google.
Because you didn't put quotes.
Yes.
Couldn't you always
Quotes that would
refer?
only be Dearborn, you're saying?
Yes, so if you put quotes, then it'll be close variation, so it'll be very close to what you're searching for, right?
Couldn't you take all these calls and refer them out to other people and make some money that way? For
Yeah.
areas?
Yeah.
Well, you're saying those
Good
calls
point.
might not, don't necessarily.
Just put Michigan
Real
on there,
estate.
anywhere,
Yeah.
anywhere in the country.
Yeah. So okay, so now it's not going to be that different though. Like when I say broad, I just mean like broader. It'll still have to do with something with homes. It'll still have to do with somewhere near your area. It just won't be specifically what you're looking for. Now you do want to be specific, but the more specific you are, the more it will actually cost you, because now they have to target a very small target, and they have to kind of push it out a little bit more to that target. So that's why it'll cost more. Now broader, it'll be cheaper, but it'll be less accurate. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you were to put just in quotation marks home for sale, now it'll bring up close variations. It'll bring up relevancy to what you're looking for and things like that. But if you put it in brackets, now that's an exact match. If you put it in brackets, somebody has to search that
Exact phrase.
That exact phrase. Your ad will not pop up unless somebody puts that exact phrase in there.
Interesting.
Yes, so this is actually perfect, like I put here, it's perfect for high intents, right? I mean, if your ads are structured that way and somebody calls you, that's what they're looking for. Or else they wouldn't have seen the ad, but that's what they're looking for. Okay, now phrase matches are also good because you want to be there as far as staying relevant things like that. But we'll just use these kind of broad ones, because that way you'll capture as many leads as possible. But that's something to consider when you consider what is my goal here when running an ad. Okay, what do I want to do? Okay. Now we're just gonna let's just use. I'm gonna use buyers keyword. Actually, this isn't even the part where we get to it a little later, but it's kind of similar. So you build Dearborn. So these are just general terms that Google wants to know what is the theme or what is like the service that you will be providing. Just for this section. When we talk about the keywords, that's later on. But for just for this section, what do you do? Right? Now you can choose up to 50. I'm gonna do 5. Okay, so this Todd is where your location could be put. Now, this also you want to be very specific, right? There's 2 ways to put it in. So obviously you could just select the United States, but that's not what you want to do. You're only licensed in Michigan, right? You don't want somebody from California giving you a call about a home in California. There's nothing you can do unless you're licensed there.
Or if you want to refer a $7 million sale in San Diego.
Right. But Dearborn here, Dearborn, Michigan, and you could add as many cities as you want, right? Or, so it'd be, you could add all the cities you should service, or all the counties you should service, or you could click on here, advanced search, right? And look at the reach. This is just like any 361,000 people that you could reach just by this search here. Now, what I would do here is instead of location, I would put one location, and then I would put a radius here. So, for example, you put Dearborn here, and see how it gave you a 20-mile radius, right? You could. If you serve more, you could put more. If you serve less, you could put less. I'd probably put like maybe 45. Now, because there we go. Okay, so you see here, 40-mile radius kind of takes me a little bit into Canada, and it might even take me into Ohio. It doesn't, but it could. You could get calls from there. What you could do in this scenario is it says enter a location to include or exclude, right? So when you enter a location, you could kind of exclude it or include it. Now, for me, I'm just going to put Canada because that's the closest country to us, and we're just trying to exclude Canada. Right, and then also Ohio, unless you're licensed there. Ohio, we're gonna exclude Ohio. So that way you won't waste money, you know,
Good idea.
from those people giving you a call. If you speak any other languages, you could also put that. And that's actually a very, very big plus because a lot of people won't even call you if you don't speak their language. So if you speak a second language, it's good. So this is the first section. We kind of define what we are, what we're looking for, and then we put the locations. You want to be as specific as possible, put a radius on it, exclude any location that you don't want calls from, and then add your languages here. So, so right here, it seems like they have, so I'm sure this is what I did last night, but what it's going to require you to do is put some headlines for your ads. So the headlines are like the top thing that the people are going to see when they click on your ad, right? So then you have top luxury realtor, right? If you put a headline here, top luxury realtor, this is how your ad is going to look like. Okay? So this is what your ad is going to look like. You want to put a picture in here, but you'll have your number and you have your location and you'll have a description. So we're going to go ahead and kind of put some headlines in here, and we're also going to add some descriptions on here too. And then it'll show us a preview of what our ads will look like to the consumer. Use these like luxury home sales. So if you put luxury home sales, that'll be like the first thing on your ads that pops up right here. See, I like this one here because this is buying a house, real estate listings. So these are the suggestions that Google AI put in here. And Google AI is pretty good. So you can take their suggestions if you want to make it more specific to you. You can do that too. Okay. I mean, these are all really good. Luxury home ownership, home buying made easy. So when the customer sees it, that's the headlines that they're going to click on. That's the headlines that they're going to use, right? If you're looking for example, a buyer's in Dearborn, right? You can put homes for sale, Dearborn, Michigan, right? And that will be on the headline there. You know, it'll say sponsored, homes for sale, Dearborn, Michigan. They can click on your ad, it'll take them to your Google profile, or it'll take them directly to your website, whichever one you choose. Okay? So these are really good. So now these are the headlines that Google AI had already put in. I already had some, but these are good too. Okay? A long headline. So what this did here, what I'm seeing that Google AI did, and this actually has not done this before, but it took things from my website. Yes. So it tailored my ad based on my website. So it took everything that it knows about me from my website and it tailored it to my Google ad, which is a little scary. You should not know that much. But it even has my Southfield listing here, right? It has what I've used before in ads. See, experience exceptional customer service. That's very, very personal here. And then also it even filled in. So I already have all this ready here. I'll show you guys. This is crazy that they've already filled in everything. But I already have all the headlines and all the descriptions already ready to put in. But instead, Google took the ones from my website and they inputted it themselves. So, I mean, all you have to do from here, because this just made it super easy, but all you have to do from here is pick and choose what you want. So if there is a headline that you don't like, you can change it, right? If there's headlines that you want to keep, you can do that. It gives you a long description that you can use, you can do that. Then it also gives you like other headlines that you may be able to use, and it even if you put in a headline that they don't think is optimal, it will let you out. Yeah. So this is also a new thing, but they require you with any ads to put photos. You can put a photo of a home. You could put a photo of you, but it's I don't know if you want to put it, because that's already going to be on your Google business page and things like that. When you are advertising, for example, homes for sale, and you want them to click on your ads, you probably want to put a home in there.
Have you, for pictures and graphics and stuff, have you used Canva at all?
Yes. Yes.
Because that's what Paul does all the time.
So that's actually one of the things that I was going to say is, instead of don't put your, I don't think you should, for me, I don't think you should put your personal photo on there. You can put a flyer on there that'll describe your services. So that way it'll kind of pop up, and then it'll be your ad, and then it'll be a flyer of your services, or even better, it can be a promotion, like a limited time promotion that comes along just for this ad. So if you click on this ad, you qualify for this promotion. So you could also do that. Canva is pretty good for that too. Now, they do require to put an image on here. You could put any, and these are images that they took from my website. So, it's just weird people. This is AI, but yeah, this is my listing. This is a home that I sold a year ago. This is one of my listings, and these are my listings. We're just going to select one. It'll show you how it's right here, and then this is the second one. And that's how it's going to pop up. It's just going to pop up as 2 photos. Now, they're also going to require you to put a logo in. I'm fine with the real estate logo. So this is what your ad is going to look like. It's going to have your logo, which is your real estate one logo, your business name, right? So this is what somebody's going to search there, and this is how your ad is going to look like. So it's going to say sponsored on top, which you pay for it, right? And it's going to say your 2 headlines and your description, your phone number, your location, and a photo that you chose to be on that ad. You could put a video. I don't put videos. The site links, we don't really need that. So here, you'd want to focus on conversions, because you want people to go to your website, you want people to call your number, you want people to go to your app or anything like that, or to come to your store. This is basically around the same thing. Let's see what it says here. Average value associated with actions taken. You'd want conversions, because the way that it will do is it'll track your conversions, it'll track the people that are calling you, and it'll give you how much it charges you for each call or conversion, okay? Now, you could set a cost, which means like if a conversion is above, or a click is above what you want to pay for each click, you could set up a a target cost. So it won't go over that, right? But you're going to be selecting a budget for each day. So you could put a click on here. Maybe you want to put $3 or $5 or things like that. And it'll cap it as that, so it cannot go over that much. But I want to get as many leads as possible, so I'm just going to leave that active. So we're almost done here. So you have to set a budget, right? Now Google is sometimes full of BS, because you don't need $150 a day to get good return on your Google ads, right? $150 a day, how much is that a month? Oh, $4,500. You don't need to spend that much money. You don't. So what you want as far as Google is
That's a billboard.
Huh?
That's a billboard.
Yeah, right. I mean, they obviously want you to spend as much money as possible. I mean, they even have a recommended budget for you at a minimum budget, but set your own budget, because here's the thing with Google Ads, right? So what you want is your ad to be quality, right? You want quality over quantity. If your ad is really good, it's going to get clicks. If your ad is really good, it's going to get clicks. So don't worry about spending more money or anything like that. And then also, if it's your first time running an ad, you want to test the ad. you don't wanna spend $150 a day, $4,500, so you have to test it. If it goes on for 3 weeks and you're not getting the results, pause or cancel that ad and start a new one, right? Try to
If you
build
get
it.
great results, then you can spend more, right?
Exactly. Once you get great results with an ad, once you have an ad that you know it works, you can up the spending and you'll up, your lead account. So once you have something that works, just up the spending.
Goes right back to that high gain activity.
Yes.
Spend more time on that.
You don't want to spend $4,500 and get one lead. So you want your ads, you want to know that your ad works. And with this, the only way that you really know that your ad works is to run it for a few weeks, just to test it. And I don't want you guys to get discouraged because your first ad may not be the best, right? But your second or third one might be. So if you keep trying, you will make it. Now, over here, what I do is $20. I think $20, and it's gonna tell you, oh, it's too low. It's not, right? You could use, this is what you want to do to kind of figure out if that ad is the ad that you want to run without spending $4,500 a month. Okay? Collect ads here. It'll ask you for your payment information, and it'll charge you $50 temporarily, and then it'll return it. And then here, this is the very last step here. This is a choice that you want to make. Excuse me. Do you want somebody from Google to call you to talk about your ad? It's up to you. I would just because I'm curious to what they would say about my ad. So these are the people that actually are in the background and they run your ads and they track things like that. And I would want to speak with them.
Have you done that?
Yes, I have. And honestly, it really depends on the person that you get because I've had a couple people just try to upsell me. And it's like, it's not what I want. But I've had people that give you really good advice. And I think the last ad that was really good, that had a lot of turnover in it, was one that they called me and really helped me optimize it, and it worked perfectly. How I said it.
Cool.
So you click yes or no here. After you add your payment details, you'll submit the actual ad. It'll take a few days for review, and then it'll give you a notification that your ad is currently running. And your ad is running, and that's it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to that's it. We'll save that for next time. But that's your
awesome.
ad is up and running. Get ready to answer the phone.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Any questions?
If you have to spend the say it's like one of those options, like you have to hit that $500 threshold for them to
Yes.
credit you the 500.
If for them to give you a credit, you have to spend the money.
Okay. Yeah, because I've done Google Ads before for another business, and I don't think I hit that threshold, so I never got it. And also, I didn't do anything you just said, and I was getting such broad results that I was getting charged for an engraving business. I was getting charged for people calling me for perfume bottles and. I didn't do any of that, and just shout out engraving business. And
Yeah,
I was
the broader you
wasting
are,
money, yeah.
the broader you are, the cheaper it is, but it's also, you're not gonna get the
Yeah.
results that you need.
Yeah, it was for people I couldn't help.
Right.
Totally makes
Wasn't
sense.
something I offered, yeah. But it did help me realize maybe I should get this other machine because then I'm getting a lot of calls for all this other stuff
It obviously works. You just
Yeah.
gotta fine tune it, right?
Yeah. I didn't fine tune it to my specific niche.
And once you do that, that's where you'll get a lot of calls for what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, so that was good info.
That's great information.
Thanks, Ellie.
Of course, any questions?
Does anybody have anything?
Did that record, by the way?
I'm recording that.
Okay.
Yeah, it is recorded.
Because this is something that you want to check out again and get all the details. 'cause
We
not-
can share, we can send it out to everybody and
Yeah,
share.
that'd be great.
Anybody have anything they wanna add to that? Alrighty.
I'm staying going honestly, so.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you everyone, yeah,
I
definitely.
think I'll even.
Yeah, that was awesome, thank you. Who would like to go first? Come on up. We've got our wonderful affiliates here today.
Yes, sir. Good morning, everybody. My name is Eric Chase with Insurance One, and we are here to announce that you have a new Insurance One producer, and this is Nicole, which I'll obviously let her talk in a minute. But our goal is to obviously get here more often, be more visible, be more helpful, and we've been spread thin. We haven't had enough sales producers, and so we hired her to try to help in those missing areas, and this is one of the offices that needs more attention, and we know that. So, no